There are many documented UFO shapes throughout history. But over time, we find out new shapes of UFOs. A crescent-shaped UFO appears in 3 different places at different times and twice on Google Maps. One, on October 16, 2020, a strange unidentified flying object appeared in the sky of New Jersey, New York. An unidentified flying object that flies at low altitude near the tops of trees, which may be cigar-shaped, probably has a large central light that flashes constantly in the middle, and on either side of the UFO there are a pair of small lights, and one orange light also flashing regularly, on the right side of the unidentified flying object, that flashes like the lights of ordinary planes. Upon careful review of the footage, some may find that the unidentified flying object is not cigar-shaped, but rather crescent-shaped with a small angle of curvature. It is thus very similar to the unidentified flying object that described by a civilian pilot, Kenneth Arnold, after the summer of 1947 on June 24. Eyewitnesses say that the unidentified flying object remained in the sky for a short period, before completely transforming into a halo of light and disappearing in the sky, as they put it. Various interpretations of the unidentified flying object came as just modern technology for aircraft. I would agree with this explanation, due to light flashing regularly on the right side of the unidentified flying object, that flashes like the lights of ordinary planes. But when the object turned into a halo of light, and suddenly disappeared in the sky, its being just modern technology became an unlikely explanation. Some will say, what will prevent it from being modern technology? And that when taking off, the middle light intensity increased, which led to the appearance of a large halo of light around the unknown flying object, and then the huge thrust helped it to suddenly disappear in the sky. I agree with the first part of this interpretation, since the middle light has increased in brightness, which led to the appearance of a light halo around the unknown flying object. But I do not agree with the second part of the interpretation, because the huge thrust made the unidentified flying object to disappear in the sky. Even if it was just a modern technology that includes huge thrust forces, to the extent that the human eye of eyewitnesses did not determine the direction of the unidentified flying object while takeoff, the human body could not bear such a huge force of thrust. This explanation may be acceptable only in the case that it was a drone and was unmanned by any human element. 2. On November 6, 2020, a similar unidentified flying object appeared in the sky of Bogotá, Colombia. The unidentified flying object is flying this time at a relatively high altitude in the sky, and this time it appears more in the form of a crescent-shaped, more likely the UFO that appeared in 1947. The unidentified flying object also has in a middle large central light, and the footage does not show that if it contains side lights or not, due to the relatively high altitude of the unidentified flying object in the sky. The interpretations were identical to the interpretations of the previous unidentified flying object, in addition to being a balloon flying in the sky of the city. Here there are 2 possibilities. The first possibility is that it is the same unidentified flying object that previously appeared in the sky of New Jersey, New York. On October 16, 2020, and the slight difference in the shape is due to the different angle of photography, or the difference in height of the unidentified flying objects in the sky in both scenes, but none of the witnesses in Bogotá, Colombia, spoke about the way of this unidentified flying object disappeared in the sky, whether it had disappeared in the same way as before or not. In this case, it is likely that the UFO is really new technology of drones. The second possibility is that the unidentified flying object in both scenes is different. In this case, being a secret technology is unlikely, since the secret technology of one country should not appear in another country. 3. On December 6, 2021, a similar UFO appeared in Chicago, Illinois. This time also the unidentified flying object flies in the sky at a low altitude, and also it contains a medium light, but it is less bright than the unidentified flying objects that appeared in the previous 2 scenes. There is also some difference in shape with the presence of a median dome in the flying object, which may be caused by the angle of photography, and that in reality the shape of the object flying objects is identical to the previous two cases. Since the middle light is less bright, this can be explained by the fact that the unidentified flying object did not intend to take off at the time of filming, and therefore the middle light is less bright, considering that the intensity of the middle light brightness reflects a system of propulsion used to make the unidentified flying object take off, based on the testimony of eyewitnesses in the first case in New Jersey, when they said that the middle light had increased in intensity upon takeoff to turn into a halo of light. In the case of this unidentified flying object is the same unidentified flying object that appeared before in New Jersey and Bogota, Colombia. This is a categorical denial of the fact that a secret technology. But if the shape was not identical in the three cases, we could agree that it is a secret technology that is being developed in several countries, each of which is developing his industry differently. In fact, these three were not the only cases in which this unidentified flying object appeared. On September 4, 2013, Ocean City, New Jersey, 4:10 p.m. A similar picture of an unidentified flying object has been captured on Google Maps. The photo shows an unidentified flying object whose shape is identical to the previous cases and also contains a large central light that was photographed near the sun. The explanations came to the fact that it is just a reflection of sunlight on the lenses of the cameras used in photography, and the angle of this object, given that it is in the form of a crescent, is less than the angle of the previous crescent shape that appears in the previous sightings. I do not think that the mere reflection of light on the camera lenses will draw a shape that is identical to this extent with the previous cases, and the image does not indicate the use of any editing programs or contain any manipulation. Some will say that the unknown flying object that appeared in the previous cases was black in color, but in this case, it is pink. In the first case in New Jersey in 2020, eyewitnesses reported that the UFO had transformed into a halo of light before taking off and disappearing into the sky. Also, this color may be the result of one of the camouflaging processes that the unidentified flying object uses to hide in the sky from the public eye. Also in April 2015, a similar UFO image was taken in Hunts Point, New York on Google Maps near the sun as well, in which case a halo of light appears around the UFO clearly. Based on the testimony of witnesses in the first case as well, that the unidentified flying object turned into a halo of light before taking off and disappearing completely in the sky. This photo may be a clear evidence of the correctness of their talk. In this case, it is likely that the unidentified flying object that appeared in all cases is the same object with different heights in the sky and different state of its readiness to take off, if it is true to say.